Hi everyone, what's up? Josh here from Alternative Brewing. Today we're diving into the Gaggia Espresso Evolution coffee machine, a compact and budget-friendly option for those new to the world of home espresso. We're going to cover off the key points including design, build quality, performance, and the skills needed to get the most out of this machine. Let's see if this machine can meet your coffee needs without breaking the bank. And if you enjoy this video along the way, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right, let's get into it. First, let's talk about the design and the build quality of the Gaggia Espresso Evolution. This is not to be confused with the Gaggia Classic Evo espresso machine. These are very different machines with completely different capabilities. Now, if I were to touch on a comparison of these two, it is the Evo that would win hands down. And that is obvious by the price alone being 3 times more expensive and a much more reliable and durable build. When discussing the durability of the Gaggia Espresso Evolution, it is important to clarify here that this is predominantly a plastic build, which doesn't equate to the same level of durability as stainless steel. Instead, it emphasizes on construction that is compact and budget-friendly. So, highlighting proper care and maintenance is crucial for the longevity of this machine, and ironically so, even more so on a less expensive machine than it is for something like the Gaggia Classic Evo. Taking a look at the specifications, you have a 1.2 litre water tank that is conveniently refillable on the side of the machine. I would emphasize use filtered water only. This machine uses a thermocoil single boiler, not a traditional style boiler system, and thermocoil is capable of superheating. So there is not going to be any wait times when you turn this machine on and you're going to use it straight away. But the trade-off here for that system is it is susceptible to blockages if you're placing any old water into this machine. This being that main key aspect to its longevity. Other noteworthy specs then are the vibratory pump that it uses, working from anywhere between 9 to 15 bars of pressure. And the machine also has a 30-minute auto-off feature if left unattended, which I think is a great feature to have on any machine. Now, where clearance is a concern under the group head, you have 7.5 centimeters from the spouts to the drip tray. Although you are also able to remove the drip tray and accommodate larger glasses of upwards of 9.5 to 10 centimeters tall. Looking over the rest of the machine, you have very practical features like the cup tray that passively warms your cups up top. Now it can hold about 2 to 3 cups, and this is a good indication of how many coffees you really want to be making back to back with this machine. You get a removable drip tray down low, and this actually is surprisingly good capacity and is easy to keep clean. You also have a 3 simple button operation with machine on and off, brewing on and off, and then steaming on and off from the Panarello steam wand. And the accessories that you get are a bean scoop and a tamping one. You also get a plastic portafilter. This is the Gaggia 53mm portafilter. You have a rubber seal that you use for espresso pods. I really don't see anyone using one of these. It's not a very popular thing in Australia, nor would you want to use that with this machine, I guess. You also have 2 filter baskets. And here is where it gets to what I think is really the turning point in the machine's overview, in my opinion. You have a single and a double filter basket, but essentially this machine is set up ideally for using pre-ground coffee. And whether that's purchased from a supermarket or from your local cafe or roaster who have ground it up for you, the Espresso Evolution comes with only pressurized filter baskets. And this is somewhat expected at this price point. Pressurized filter baskets can be seen as a shortcut in making espresso, but they don't deliver the highest quality that I think many coffee lovers really do crave from their espresso. They're kind of like a quick fix for not having the perfect grind or other brewing techniques to go along with brewing your coffee. And it's not that they produce bad coffee at all. It is though that once you have tasted espresso made from non-pressurized filter baskets that have been dialed in perfectly, the difference is clear and night and day. And using non-pressurized baskets do require more effort to get it right, while pressurized baskets are simpler and forgiving. And if you are satisfied with the coffee that they produce, then there's really no downside to using them. So let's now brew up a shot using this machine. We'll check out the workflow. We'll also steam some milk and make a morning coffee. Let's jump in and do it. Now, having mentioned it has a thermocoil heating arrangement, This provides quick and easy heating as well as customization and control for the water system. And you will hear the phrases PID controlled, pre-infusion enabled, and programmable shot used to add value to this machine. And it does, but in truth, it's the fact that it has the thermocoil heating. Pretty much all of those mentioned features are bundled up as default in thermocoil technology. So it's not as groundbreaking as it is a good marketing strategy from Gaggia, and things such as the PID and the pre-infusion work a little bit differently than they would on a machine that has a genuine boiler system in it. Okay, so I'm going to begin by scooping coffee into my double filter basket. And it's 2 full scoops for the double and 1 full scoop for the single. Though I would honestly just never use the single in my opinion. And for all you coffee nerds out there, I've been using 17 grams of beans for the basket. Now, in the studio, I found that the Normcore 54mm Breville tools worked great on the Gaggia portafilter. So I'm leveling out and tamping down nice and even. Then, locking that straight into the group head, I begin brewing. I would highly recommend getting a shot cup here using this machine if you're not great at eyeballing into the mug or cup, because we are aiming for around 40 mils of espresso liquid in the cup. Any more than that, and it will begin to taste either burnt or becomes very weak when we're adding it to milk. And once the desired level is reached, hit the brew button once more and it'll stop. You can also keep the brew button held down to begin with as you begin brewing, and then once you release it at your desired amount, this will program the machine to that volume each and every time you press the brew button, providing you also add the same amount of coffee volume and grind to the basket. And this is that pre-programmed dosing, or AKA volumetrics. And this is great for a 1-button press brewing, where it'll turn off automatically and there's no need to watch the shot to turn it off manually. Now, we want to leave the group handle in the machine for at least 1 minute after each shot to allow for pressure to slowly release out of the filter basket. And you may see dripping coming from the spouts, and this is kind of that pressure getting released through the coffee bed, as pressure does get trapped up inside there, and this machine not having a 3-way solenoid valve where it evacuates that extra pressure out the back of the machine, you just want it to slowly release out. Now, if you remove this portafilter too soon, you'll discover it can get quite messy. So from here, we're going to hit that steam button and wait for the light to stop flashing. Once done, give the wand a quick purge to remove any condensation inside the wand. And with your milk pitcher between 1 to 2/3 full, leaving room for that milk to expand, place the wand just under the milk and to the back of the pitcher and turn it on. Hold it there as the milk rises in temperature and it begins to bubble up, smaller bubbles being the better. Getting in the right position and holding as still as possible is the trick to getting the best milk using these types of wands. And once done with the right temperature, turn the wand off with it still submerged in the milk, remove the pitcher, and then wipe the wand down. Ensure you also purge the wand again to remove any milk it might have sucked up. Then with a quick few swirls of the milk in the pitcher, you can go ahead and pour your coffee to enjoy. Whew. That's quite good. Now, if you are craving more than what the default accessories and the pressurized basket can offer on this machine, do brace yourself for a wild ride through a world of espresso accessories. Before you know it, you might find yourself eyeing additional coffee gear that could cost as much or more than the Gaggia Espresso Evolution itself. It's like entering into a realm where budget-friendly espresso machine meets the all-consuming pursuit of coffee perfection. 2 worlds that, while coexisting, might not always see eye to eye. Now, the Gaggia Espresso Evolution is an absolute champion at what it does. But if your goal is to save money, and that includes resisting the temptation to splurge on cafe-bought coffee, because we all know the difference a skilled barista can make, then perhaps consider broadening the budget to include a grinder and some simple espresso gear to alleviate common errors when using this machine. Now, definitely my biggest pet peeve of this machine, which doesn't really seem like much really, is knocking the grounds out. I always seem to lose the filter basket into the knock bin, as the filter basket is quite loose in the portafilter. Now, if you have this same problem, I recommend lining the middle point up of the basket with the knock bar and then steadily keep at knocking it, and that puck will eventually pop out. When it comes to cleaning this machine, it involves rinsing the group head after each use, removing the filter basket every day to rinse out the inside of the portafilter, washing and wiping out the water tank periodically, and of course changing the drip tray to keep the machine in tip-top shape. So the Gaggia Espresso Evolution offers a very affordable entry into the automatic home espresso brewing, ideal for beginners. Its compact size and budget-friendly price make it widely accessible, though achieving top-notch espresso may require upgrading to, say, a non-pressurized basket and then adding a grinder as opposed to using pre-ground coffee. And the plastic build does raise some durability concerns compared to higher-end models, though for those starting out in their espresso journey on a budget, or perhaps adding this machine to a small RV, office, or rental, the Gaggia Espresso Evolution is a practical choice, as it is easy to use and can deliver decent espresso with the pressurized filter baskets. Then, as your skills grow, consider upgrades for better results. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, add them in the comment section down below. I love to hear from you. And until next time, happy brewing, and we'll see you in the next video.